This is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
The state government has thrown its support behind the embattled Human Services Minister amid allegations Jackie Petrusma misled Parliament. The opposition parties have debated a motion of no confidence following the minister's bungled story on dealings with the Children's Commissioner.
The troubles of the Human Services Minister began in last week's budget estimates. Jackie Petrusma questioned over alleged interference by her department regarding correspondence with the Children's Commissioner.
Has any member of your staff given a directive to a statutory office that would be seen to obstruct or hinder their obligations?
The minister reading a statement sent by the Commissioner to the media that refused to discuss confidential conversations had with the minister, regardless of who is in government.
Would you like to read out the whole statement, please?
Well, this is the draft. So
it was the response she'd been sent a draft message, prompting questions from the opposition yesterday.
So it was what was sent, I believe, accidentally by the Commissioner for Children's Office to one of the media outlets, Madam Speaker, that I then received a copy of.
Confusion over whether or not the email was sent to Minister Petrusma accidentally or what, in fact, she was reading from.
I don't think this is the right one.
How did you know that you didn't have the official statement?
I knew I didn't have the proper statement because Mr Willie had a different statement, Madam Speaker, and he said that there was a couple of words missing.
The opposition launching a motion of no confidence in Minister Petrusma, accused of lying to Parliament.
The argument made today by the Minister that the only reason she knew it was a draft is because Mr Willie told her so is a lie.
This Minister has lied to the Tasmanian Parliament and therefore to the people of Tasmania, and that is the most egregious thing you can do.
The Minister's been completely truthful, repeatedly ruling out and categorically denying the false claims made by the Labor Party.
Jackie Petrusma survived today's no confidence vote thanks to the government's majority, but questions still remain on alleged interference by her department in requests not to put sensitive information into writing. They're questions likely to be asked when Parliament resumes tomorrow. Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
The redevelopment of the Royal Hobart Hospital has reached another milestone with the foundation works of the new inpatient precinct underway. The K Block site will increase the hospital's bed capacity by 250 as the construction impacts current bed numbers.
In the meantime, we need to continue to work together to ensure that patients coming in larger numbers than ever before continue to receive top quality care.
The new beds will cover a range of clinical areas, with the redevelopment due for completion by mid-2019. A motorist has managed to escape injury after losing control of a ute along the Midland Highway near Youngtown this morning. The driver was attempting to change lanes around 8 o'clock when the vehicle collided with another. The barriers preventing the ute from crossing onto the other side of the highway. No one was injured and traffic was delayed for a short period while the scene was cleared. A 28-year-old Hadspen man has been charged following an alleged jewellery heist on the weekend. The man is accused of stealing around $200,000 of diamond rings from an antiques fair in Launceston's Albert Hall. Police allege the man broke into the venue and stole the items early on Monday morning. Some of the jewellery has been recovered. Frustrated Tasmanians have slammed their local council for not caring about what they want. Support is building to turn the disused northeast train line into a tourism attraction, but the Dorset Council maintains it's not the best option.
This is the track many Launceston and northeast residents want to turn back into a passenger train line. They have a plan, they have strong backers, but not everyone is on board.
It'd be another added attraction to Tasmania, which would actually make us more of a mecca for tourist rail activities.
Last night, around 100 people at a public forum heard the line could be constructed in 5 stages. Proponents say the train experience could include stops at wineries, waterfalls and Bridestow Lavender Farm.
We're only talking about 50 railway sleepers to get that section of line going, plus fixing up the level crossings.
The Derwent Valley Mayor showing his support, saying the experience would complement plans for a southern railway. But a major thing in the way is the fact the North East line has already been approved to be ripped up and turned into a bike track.
The benefits received out of that will be that a number of businesses, as many as possible, along the line will be able to receive a benefit through people riding their bikes, stopping where they want to stop, spending money where they want to spend money.
The Dorset Mayor fears that economic benefit won't happen with a train, as visitors won't spend much time at each destination. Local residents disappointed the council isn't supporting them.
It's very autocratic and do it my way or the highway. All ages can use a train, whereas who of us is going to be able to ride a bike from Launceston to Scottsdale?
Potentially you're talking about pulling up a $40 million asset to create a bike track.
Those behind the train proposal admit they haven't quite figured out how much it will cost to bring level crossings like this up to standard. An independent survey is looking at how many crossings, bridges and tracks will need to be updated, but it will take 3 months before that's complete. The Launceston City Council says it's open to both proposals, but will wait to see the study results before giving a preference.
Obviously, once that happens and comes through, we'll be able to see how it really does can afford it, how it can be financially sustainable into the future, and that's something that obviously needs to be known.
Monika Dadson at Southern Cross News.
It's with sadness we tonight remember much-loved journalist Kay Wilkinson Green, who passed away on Monday. The former ABC and Southern Cross news presenter spent years in front of the camera, beaming into lounge rooms across Australia. Kay was known throughout the industry as a straight shooter with a heart of gold and deep love of nature. She had an ornate ability to tell stories that related to us all. Surrounded by her loved ones, Kay passed away peacefully on Monday and will be sadly missed. Tasmanians are urged to rally around the Red Cross blood service and donate blood as the cold and flu season fast approach. The Leukaemia Foundation has told how some blood cancer patients require 18 people to donate just for one life-saving treatment.
Giving blood might get some people's heart racing, but for patients suffering from cancer, it can keep theirs going. There are over 1,000 blood cancer patients living in Tasmania, all whose lives have or do depend on blood donations.
For someone with acute leukaemia, 18 people would need to donate blood per month to support that one person alone. And their treatment can go from 8 months up until many years.
Jane Anderson is an oncology nurse and says she sees the life-saving impacts of transfusions every day. Cancer patients receive 35% of donations, mostly through chemotherapy and other treatment therapies.
This reduces the blood factory and therefore we need to artificially replace with donated blood and platelets.
People of any age, gender or genetic predisposition may need a transfusion at some point in their lives. The Blood Service says 40% of blood donors donate once a year, and today, on World Donor Day, is urging people to consider doing it more.
Now, we greatly appreciate that. We certainly say thank you, but we'd ask people to consider doing that second donation. If they do that, there's an extra 180,000 donations.
You never know when you're going to need it, where someone's going to need it. It makes a real positive difference to people's lives.
No one loves needles, of course, but it's important to consider that every blood donation saves 3 lives.
Donations can be made at Red Cross blood donor centres. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Young Tasmanian dancers have shaken the stage in front of a packed house for the Night of Dance. The event raised thousands of dollars for the Give Me 5 for Kids campaign, while also opening the door for a new dance group.
An audience captivated by the harmony on stage. One of the draw cards of the night, the Bright Stars dance troupe, featuring performers with Down syndrome from the northwest coast. This, their first live show performing on their own. One of many graceful acts, raising $15,000 for the children's wards in our public hospitals.
We have got talent, a lot of it that people don't even know about.
It's one of the major events held during Give Me 5 for Kids fundraising month. From 4-year-olds through to the more seasoned artists, this was an opportunity to get experience in front of an audience.
I'm here to watch my sister and my friends in the dance concert.
We know some people from our dance studio are doing it.
Give Me 5 for Kids will host its major telethon fundraiser on June 27. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
Kingston Lifesavers aren't giving up on plans to build a new clubhouse, despite Kingborough Council's unanimous rejection at a meeting last night. With increasing demand for services, the club wants to construct a 2-storey building that includes a restaurant, change rooms and training facilities. It currently works out of a shed at the back of the block.
It's hard in the rain when we have our little children down on the grass, but at the moment we'll just continue with council to try and work out what facilities are open and available for us.
The council says the application was refused because it didn't meet planning requirements. If you've ever dreamed of seeing a musical that blends sci-fi with Shakespeare, then Claremont College has a show for you. Return to the Forbidden Planet is also bursting at the seams with toe-tapping tunes from the 60s and 50s, including the Beach Boys and Steppenwolf.
Get the motor running, head up to the skyway, look up more adventure.
The show premieres at the Don Bosco Theatre in Glenorchy tomorrow night. More than 1,000 Year 10 students have spent the day at a hands-on pathways exhibition to help them decide what's in store for their final 2 years of school.
Realise what it's like to be at college and to see what subjects we can choose and how many are on offer.
When you come into years 11 and 12, you've got the full range of technical vet subjects as well as academic subjects, as well as other subjects that will just help you in the world of work.
Students took part in interactive workshops with cooking and sports subjects, proving to be the most popular. Australian and international artists have put forward their treasured works for the 3rd Lloyd Rees Art Prize. The $20,000 prize will be awarded to the best painting that demonstrates light in the landscape. Janet Holmes-A-Court today judged the works, with the winner being announced in July at Hobart's Colville Gallery. Tasmanians have rallied to raise nearly $2,000 to build a place of reflection for bereaved parents. This locally made stainless steel bench will soon have a small garden built around it. Lisa Bird initiated the project after connecting with bereaved parents through an online support network.
My own son Joshua died in December 2008 in a car accident. We discovered that a lot of parents just don't have a place to be.
The memorial was installed today to coincide with what would have been Joshua's birthday. Now a look at the day's business and finance news with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. The share market has posted a second straight day of strong gains as the major banks continue to rebound. The ASX 200 index has risen by 61.1 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 75.6 US cents and 83.18 Japanese yen.
Well, big news in women's basketball tonight. With confirmation ex-Launceston Tornado Michaela Roof will join the Hobart Chargers for the rest of the season. Roof left the state in March to spend time in the WNBA, but returns to a Hobart team in need of some extra tools around the rim.
In a move that will no doubt add some extra spice to the next Tasmanian derby, Chargers women's coach Dwayne Davey said he's thrilled Roof has chosen Hobart as her base after a stint at the LA Sparks. But it's still touch and go whether the ink will be dry in time for this weekend's road trip to Ballarat and Bendigo.
Michaela comes in and hopefully can play a bit of a role for us and I guess fill some gaps in terms of rebounding and things like that, which is probably an area that we are a little bit vulnerable. But the girls have done a great job to get us to this point so far, and we think Michaela can help us do a bit better.
Davey will be looking for redemption after a shock loss against the cellar-dwelling Rush in Hobart 2 weeks ago.
The girls definitely have that on their mind and we're ready to go and really want to come home with 2 wins, to be honest.
In the men's, the Chargers are out to make a mid-season statement and cement their place at the top of the South Conference ladder. They'll welcome the return of Tom Garlop to the squad after an extended layoff. Assistant coach Nathan Brereton says he hopes Garlop is the perfect foil for Ballarat's Tim Conrad.
The support from the crowd and the local community has been fantastic, and they've helped us get over the line in a lot of games, particularly the game on the weekend at Kingston. So not having that on the road is going to make things tougher.
Meanwhile, the Launceston Tornadoes and Northwest Thunder are also hitting the road to Canberra for 2 games each. The Torns looking to send Lauren Mansfield off in style before she heads to Phoenix in the United States as part of the Australian Opals training squad.
With Lauren, you know, it's going to be tough for 2 weeks, but it's an opportunity for one of the other girls to step up, and we're working on a few things at training to allow that to happen.
Andrew McCarthy, Southern Cross News.
Good evening. Hobart 15 today, Launceston Burnie 14, Devonport a high of 13 degrees. 15 was the top around the state, also recorded by St Helens, Grove, Campania and Flinders Island. Lyawini the low with -4, not a bad effort. Above average temperatures though mainly, with a shower or two over the west and north. 5 mils at Mount Reed, the best reading to 3 p.m. King Island, Low Head, Wynyard, Friendly Beaches and Ooze all 14 and Strawn a top of 13 degrees. High cloud is streaming over our region ahead of a cold front, while more cloud sits over southwestern WA. The remainder of the country mostly cloud-free apart from the New South Wales and southern Queensland coasts. A layer of low cloud moved over the west and south today, with that line of high cloud streaming through as well. Tomorrow, the high remains dominant over Victoria, extending a ridge over New South Wales and South Australia. A cold front moves to our southeast, a trough over Western Australia. West and northwesterly winds at 15 to 25 knots over southern waters and lighter over the rest of the coast and over the lakes as well. Swells to 4 metres in the west and south. A mostly sunny 16 for Hobart tomorrow. Cygnet sunny 2, 15 the top and 15 for New Norfolk. Launceston cloudy, 16 the high, 16 for Devonport with a morning shower clearing, 15 the top for Campbelltown. For Burnie, a shower or two and 16 the maximum, 15 for Strawn, shower as well for Smithton, 16 degrees, while for St Helens, partly cloudy day and 17, same for Swansea and 16 the top for Fingal. On Friday, showers over the west, far south and Bass Strait, otherwise fine. Showers for those same areas on Saturday, mainly fine over the west, showers contracting to coastal areas on Sunday, but fine over the north and east. Partly cloudy in Perth, Adelaide and Melbourne tomorrow, a shower or two for Brisbane, some cloud cover over Sydney and sunny for Darwin. Cloudy and 13 in Hobart, 12 degrees in Launceston and cloudy in Devonport, 13 degrees. Having a bit of a chuckle. Joe's going out to a trivia night tonight. I don't know what we're going to use you for, Joe.
What? I'll be just fine. Thank you very much. Love trivia. Before we go tonight, 3 Tasmanian locations will feature on the latest Australian version of Monopoly. The board game has undergone a radical makeover, with tourist officers around the country asked to vote for their favourite destination. Hobart will feature as a property, along with Stanley on the northwest coast and Freycinet National Park. Strawn and Evandale narrowly missed out on inclusion. Sydney Harbour replaces Mayfair on the board as the most expensive address. That's all from the news team for now. Thanks so much for your company. We'll see you a little bit later. Bye-bye.